Realities explores the paranormal, preternatural, and supernatural worlds that surround us. Here we delve into those topics that challenge us to think outside the limitations of realism, where we test the boundaries of imagination and are forced to think outside the confines and restrictions of what is normal. We are the creators, the writers, the artists, and the insane. Welcome to our Wyrd Realities.
Happy Thursday, Weirdlings. This is Hadley, and as always, I'm here with Mr. Allen Gamboa, Scott Baker, and Mr. Rich Restucci. Now, sci-fi B movies are low budget, often campy, and sometimes awesome. And so tonight, we've got 4 sci-fi B movies that are charmingly campy, or are they? That's what we're going to talk about tonight.
Did you say campy or crappy?
I said campy, or are they? Crappy might actually work better. But yeah, so Alan, what you got?
Frozen is what Alan's got.
Well,
the poor guy. It's really cold in Nevada.
So. While he's on pause, y'all go ahead and be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell so you can get all the notifications for when we go live.
So the best part of this whole show is just Alan's long sigh right there. So.
You're here now.
You're back.
My internet in my garage, in my bomb shelter.
Your bunker.
Horrible. I hate it. I can't wait to move upstairs. Next week, folks, it'll be better. I'll be upstairs.
Big Mike will be back next week.
Yes, I missed your intro.
Well, you made it look real homey.
What did you say?
Big Mike is moving up in the world.
Yeah. So what was your intro? I missed that. I'm sorry. Can I add
I don't even remember. It was that we had campy movies, or were they? Sci-fi bad movies.
Yes, and I think to call these bad movies, in some respect, is an understatement on some of them.
I only got to watch 2 movies this week, so my apologies, fellas. I did have Scott's movie on, so I saw visuals. But
I got through 4 of them, but 2 of them there was definite pressing of the fast forward button. It was hard to get through these films.
There's Miss Chloe.
Hi, Chloe. Oh, I don't have.
Hi, Chloe.
Hold up. There. Oh, she's the first one in here too.
Hello, Chloe.
Damn. Wow.
Oh wow.
Props.
Oh wow.
We've got 4 people in the house.
Trying to,
it looks like.
I see 1.
Oh, Tina Brooks.
Hey, Tina. She's
hi, Tina.
Tina and I are going to have fun in New Orleans in 2024.
Nice.
Yeah, you are.
She's always wanted to go.
You froze it again, brother. No, there you are. All right, let's get this. Come on, start it. Go for it.
Alan.
Looks like you're pooping. Come on.
How long into it is it before you can cuss? Okay, tonight, bad movies, bad science fiction movies. We have Journey to the Planet of Prehistoric Women. We have Flash Gordon, the man with the screaming brain. Hey, Landa. And what was the 4th one? I know I forgot.
After Earth.
It was After Earth. That's why I didn't remember it.
I was going to say, I wasn't going to say it out loud.
Not a lot to remember on this one. We'll get into that. I can go first if you want to go first.
No. Yes, go first, Rich. Please go first.
All right. Let me pull over my notes here. So, M. Night Shyamalan directed this gem, and it stars Will Smith.
Ding-a-dong.
Yeah, ding-a-dong, right? It stars Will Smith and his son, Jaden Smith. After Earth has a few other characters that some you might recognize, but the 99% of the film are dad and kid trying to stay alive. So the plot is that humans have left Earth 1,000 years ago, or 1,000 years before, because it couldn't sustain them any longer, and they colonized a few other planets only to piss off some aliens who then unleash these pretty cool beasts called Ursas. The Ursas are blind, but they can hunt by smelling human fear. Great premise. If you're afraid of these nasty critters, they find you and they make you dead. Enter our hero, Will Smith, who isn't afraid of anything, especially Chris Rock, because of his abnormally large check.
Wait, he's afraid of Jada, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
my mistake. Yeah. The absence of fear has turned into a skill called ghosting. And boy, do I know what that's like. These ghosts straight up murder the Ursas, but really, how long can you stay unafraid? Jaden Smith fails his ghost test, but his dad is the big commander type dude. And Will takes Jaden on a trip through space, as well as about to ghost the ghosts and retire. In a shocking and heretofore unused sci-fi trope, the ship runs into some asteroids and crashes on, wait for it, Earth. Will gets injured. Jaden has to save the day by getting a beacon from the tail section of the ship, which is like half a continent away. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Will and Jaden's ship was carrying an Ursa because of course, and it escapes because of course. So, Earth has changed in the past millennium, and there's nothing good about it anymore for humans. It looks pretty, but humans have been away so long that their lungs can't breathe the air. Pretty much everything tries to kill Will's kid as he valiantly attempts to breathe and get to the tail section. Monkeys, a big leech thing that poisons him, which was kind of cool, and a big bird try to eat him, except when the kid protects the bird's chicks from kitties, the bird falls in love and sacrifices herself to save the human when it gets really cold, because that's what birds do. Enter the Ursa, big, mean, fierce-smelling and all. It hunts the kid, finds him, and attacks. In an event that, if you didn't see this coming, you're a complete idiot. The kid loses all fear and kills the Ursa to death. He makes it back to his pappy Will with the beacon, and they live happily ever after. The film, it made $250 million on a budget of $130 million. So when people say it's a flop, they should really learn to read. The first week it opened, it made $27 million, coming in third behind one of the umpteen thousand Fast and Furiouses, and a movie called Can You See Me, which is a great movie that we should totally do on Watching Wyrd. I love those. There's two of those Can You See Me movies. Great. Magic thing. Couple of things to note. The film was attacked as a Scientology propaganda, and several dialogues could be taken that way, I guess. After Earth was not advertised with M. Night Shyamalan's name attached to it, and that's one of the reasons people say it did poorly, even with Will Smith as a headliner. In my opinion, Shyamalan just sucks as a director anyway. Maybe I'm just not smart enough to get his movies, so maybe that's on me. He's a fabulous writer, though. All his work is astounding, but when he tries to direct it, it just blows goats. He fucked up Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I will never forgive him for that one, ever. That was such a good show, TV show. I didn't hate this film as much as others did, and while it made a shit ton of money, it's still considered an industry flop. Doesn't make sense to me, but hey, I'm not in the film industry. I did hate the stupid-ass fake accents that people who no longer live on Earth had. They tried to push that way too hard, and I can't for the life of me figure out why. What'd you guys think of this one?
Well, before y'all start, I want to say
quick.
hi to everybody.
Oh, look at them all. Oh, man.
I know. We've got Lando. We've got Tina. We've
Lando.
got Max. We've got, let me see. I know I saw Mark Eady up there somewhere. And Jonathan Moe. We've got Tony K. We've got Mike Lewis. And back to Chloe Restucci in the house.
Max Crum is in here too.
Yeah.
Damn. I said Max.
Yeah, Max.
Oh,
hey, Max.
sorry.
Evening,
I
Max.
agree with Max. Signs was good. And Tina, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for my contribution to your pain this week.
So anyway,
it's not a bad movie.
It's not a good movie.
A boring movie.
Yes.
It's a little slow.
It was very slow.
I was going to say.
The flow is lava going uphill.
Yeah, right, Landa? It was friggin' ridiculous. And such a good TV show. Yeah. The Last Airbender.
I mean, if you want, I'll go first. I didn't know Shyamalan did this.
I took my kids to see.
Oh,
Alan, you're skipping, buddy. We love you.
I didn't know Shyamalan did this, but when I saw his name at the end, it didn't surprise me.
Right.
This movie just never caught my attention. I was watching it last night. I completely missed the scene where the bird sacrifices itself.
What?
That's how
it is literally the best scene in the entire
I was watching the movie while I was scanning Facebook, and I skipped that scene. This movie, Chris Rock gets to slap Will Smith for this one.
Right.
I think it could have been a lot better. I like the concept about it. He's a tough son of a bitch. It reminded me a little bit of that Robert Duvall film, The Great Santini, where he's the gung-ho officer and he's trying to slap his kids into shape. But it just, I don't know. I didn't like Jada Smith, the son. Will Smith was so out of character, and this movie just dragged along.
It did. Definitely not Smith's best. Kind of a sci-fi bust. I guess. I mean,
we got two Allens.
Oh, look at that. Oh, he switched to the phone.
Much better. Much better.
Sorry, I'm going to have,
No, Tina, we don't.
Mona's in the house. Hey, Mona.
Hey, Mona. We talked about After Earth.
And I'm going to have to say that this was one of the movies I watched this week, and I'm sad that I watched it. The best thing about it was the effing giant bird, which I'm terrified of. The best scene in the movie was him trying to escape the giant effing bird. Yeah. And, then she died. She was the best thing about the movie.
Yeah, she was.
She knew the meaning of true sacrifice for her little bird.
Yeah.
Her one little, hey, Ava. I'm mad at Rich for making me watch this. Felt like I lost time.
This is the best of the four.
No, it's not.
All right. I'll give you Flash Gordon. I'll give that to you. Okay, this is the second best of the four. But yeah, still, it was not good. Not in any way good. And so the whole point of these, the bad sci-fi was my idea, and the whole point of these was to get bad movies. So I apologize for the bad movies because we really went overboard on the suckage for this one.
But that means we were successful.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
So
hello.
Hi.
Hey,
Tina.
Why?
Hi, Anthony.
Do not love us.
And we need some redemption with after this week.
So Snatch really
Could have been
We will
worse.
not do this to you again.
It could have been Thanksgiving too.
Oh, Jesus, don't even.
Hey, I love y'all.
We love you too.
I don't know, Mona. I think that might be strength because I did have it on, and yeah. Bubba.
You dissed my friend's movie. Which was surprised because I didn't think anything would be bad as Thanksgiving. But
Alan, you're up. What did you think of this thing?
I found it to be boring. I was hopeful it was good. My favorite part was the crash, when the spaceship crashed. Mm-hmm. I liked that part. I was disappointed because his buddy died, and I'm a big fan of his. He used to be on the Blacklist. Oh, I can't think of his name, but I was like, oh man, that'd be cool if he lived too, but he didn't. But anyway, I'm going off track. It was just boring. There was nothing really exciting about it.
I wanted to see more monsters. I wanted to see less of the emo child with his mother issues. Yeah, it was not
good.
In a word, no, it was not good.
And
it sucked.
The thing about this one, it was filmed in Northern California by where I live. Some of it was.
It was beautiful.
And
so, go ahead.
Oh, and he went on some rafting trips and stuff, and people locals, what a dick he was.
Tina Brooks has said my favorite part is when Allen Gamboa paused it.
Tina, you are on a roll tonight.
Probably the best part of the movie.
She's a movie anarchist.
Better jaded than Jaden. Jesus.
Rich, I wanted to like it, but I
Yeah,
just
me too.
didn't.
Well, it was Will Smith acting like Denzel Washington, acting like this character in this movie.
Right.
Oh shit, right?
Right. No, it just wasn't a good fit.
No.
No, it was bad. But we
Yeah.
knew that going in. And the thing is,
That's what she said.
you know, the thing is, it made a lot of money like over time. It's got like $250 million. And
But how much of that is people want to see Will Smith?
that's a good question. I
Yeah.
mean,
With his
and
son.
honestly,
Yeah.
yeah, well, they did that Pursuit of Happiness movie that was right before this, and everybody loves that movie.
Yeah.
But this one just, it was just bad.
Yeah. Tina said it's Rush trying to break us. She talked about the band Rush.
Oh,
That goes along with these. Just like Rush. Anyway, so what do we give this movie about bad science?
You first.
I'll give it a 3.
What?
I don't.
Sorry, that was my own voice.
There was more to that. What it was? The fuck is wrong with you? Was supposed to come after what?
Well, I give it a 3 because if I have insomnia, I'd put it on and it would put me out.
Boom! Right to sleep.
Yep. Hadley.
I'm gonna give them a 2 because it was beautiful where they filmed, and I liked the bird. That's all I can do.
Scott, what
But I
about
mean,
you,
but
buddy?
again, if we were rating it because of bad science fiction, I'll give it a 5.
I didn't think of that.
Well, actually, no. I think I might have to stay at a 2 because it really wasn't science fiction. It was more like a character study.
with a science fiction background. I give it a 2 because, like Alan said, the scene when the ship fell apart was great. And I like the concept of Earth without humans just becoming now this primitive landscape run by the animals.
I'm going to give it a 2. I would have given it less than a 2, but for the things you guys said. But Shyamalan I just don't like him. I don't like everything he writes is great. The concepts are all fantastic, like that movie, The Village, and the space one with Mel Gibson.
Signs,
fantastic, but he just sucks as a director. He just can't pull it off. So this is getting a 2 out of me.
Did you see Lady in the Water? Because that was good.
No,
I like that.
I did
I
see
did
Lady
too.
in the Water, and I think it ended up being okay. Like I said, it wasn't a great movie. It was certainly better than this friggin' tragic disaster, but I don't really remember it too much. I guess I'll have to watch it again.
Do you?
But anyway, so who's next?
Let's Heather. Allie, you have.
Heather.
So we're going to go with Flash Gordon, which
All right.
was one of my favorite movies as a child. And I will say that the bloom has fallen off the rose. But I did find a lot of really cool stuff out about Flash Gordon, which Flash Gordon is this like New York, was it Giants football player, and it's played by this guy, which if you saw Ted, he's like 90 now, and he was in the movie Ted. And he gets in a plane with this hot girl, and then before apparently they're in a relationship by the time it crashes, and I don't know what happened, but they end up in this other planet with Ming the Merciless, and there's bird people, they fly and they're singing and it's Queen music, and yeah, that's it in a nutshell. The movie sucked. I'm so sorry that it did not hold up. But I will say the music did, the costumes did, and I found out that George Lucas really wanted to make this movie, and that he took a lot of the ideas that he had for Flash to New Hope, Star Wars New Hope, because I kept looking at some of the costumes, and apparently he was heavily influenced by Flash Gordon from like the comics in the 40s, and I don't know. Like I said, it did not hold up to my childhood dreams, but I still have to say it was kind of cheesy, kind of funny. It had Timothy Dalton, had a lot of James Bond people in it, Max von Snowden, other people whose names I don't remember. But yeah, the music makes it. I don't know. They're talking about redoing it. I was telling Scott earlier, it's the guy from the Vampire Shadows New Zealand show.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
What we do in the shadows?
Yeah, he does the Marvel stuff now with Thor.
Oh,
that
right.
guy. That
Taiki Watiti.
Yes.
yes,
Taika
yes,
Waititi. Yeah.
Say that 10 times real fast.
No.
Yeah, it sounds really bad.
Turns into a swear.
Don't rewatch it, Landa. Don't rewatch it. Keep those memories and hold them safe. But I will say that I don't know how they could ever redo that soundtrack.
It's on my list.
No.
I still haven't seen that. And when I was a teenager, I wanted to see it so bad.
Flash Gordon or Flash?
Flash.
Both.
Well, so I'm not even gonna. I'm just ready for y'all just to berate me about this movie.
That's not you. It's the movie.
Well, maybe let's.
You were supposed to pick a bad movie.
Let's put it on Hadley. That's good.
It's all her fault. It's all Hadley's fault. She broke Flash Gordon.
I stood in line to see the thing back in the days when you stood in line to see a movie, and it was an event movie, because movies like that came out during Christmas, during summer, and I was looking for sci-fi. Ooh, cool, clean on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And I didn't like this movie back then. I didn't. It was too campy for me at that time. It just was. The soundtrack's great. I've got the soundtrack on my phone. I love that. Flash. Oh, he's the savior of the universe.
Did he have his branding down or what? Because even the people on the other planet were giving him his Flash Gordon T-shirt.
Oh, that's right.
And they instantly knew how to play football.
Yeah,
I know, the midgets. And there was, and let me say this would not have been filmed today, but there was a lady that she walked around with a midget on a leash.
Yep, I saw that.
Yeah.
That guy he's the guy from Big Fish and the new Willy Wonka. He's been around.
Is that Deep Roy?
What's that?
Was that Deep Roy?
I think is that his name? He's an Indian guy.
Yeah.
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 He's actually really, really short too.
Yeah.
But that's him. You can see, unless there's another guy that looks just like him. I never actually looked to see if it was him, but I assume.
Roy.
Well, I really liked the sets design. It had a lot of Art Deco in it, and it was just the costuming, which again was kind of flashy now, but boy, when I was 8 years old, I thought it was the coolest stuff ever.
See, my problem was as a teenager.
I bet you liked those costumes as a teenager.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you really liked the ladies in the costumes.
Yeah.
But because guys, they're kind of slinky.
The special effects weren't that good, though. I was surprised. I like the Hawkman. What's his name? Brian Bless. I liked his character.
Yes.
He was all the time. We'll go, Flash. But it was like the movie The Black Hole. Just another movie I stood in line with, for and was disappointed in. Yeah. So this movie does not nostalgia, standing in line with my friends, having a good time, the soundtrack, Ming the Merciless and his daughter and all that. That stuff's all nostalgia. It's all fun. But the movie's not good.
No.
Not good.
I do hope they do a remake though, because I do want to see it, but I hope they keep the clean soundtrack.
Yeah.
That would be tough.
Yeah.
That would be hard. I also saw this in the theater, and I also stood in line, and I remember it was raining, and my dad took me and a couple of my friends, and he had an umbrella, and we couldn't all fit under it, so we went in there, and we were friggin' soaked trying to get it because it was coming down. We were outside. It was right down the street at a movie theater down the street, and the line was like down and around, and everybody was soaking wet, and it was cold. So we went in there, and we're all doing this, and we're watching this movie, and I loved it. It was, at the time, I knew that it was stupid. I knew that the movie was dumb. But that scene with the wood beast and Timothy Dalton, I was like, just such terrible acting. It was just so bad, and like you said, it was campy and silly, but I loved it at the time. I watched it again about a month ago before it even got picked for this. I watched it then, and I was like, what the hell did I see in this movie? It had no good attributes at all. It was just bad.
I probably watched it every time it came on HBO during my childhood, and I was thinking as I watched it today, my parents probably thought I was
Yeah,
stupid.
right? Dane Bramage. Exactly.
What is wrong with her?
Oh. Yeah, so I couldn't get into it this time. I watched it, and I look at Landa, and I watched it, and I'm sorry, Landa, it just kind of fizzled out for me. Ornella Muti she's the Ming's daughter who walks around in basically nothing the whole time. Timothy Dalton's in it. It was okay.
He's proud of that. Have that on his resume.
Well, that's going back to After Earth. That's what Will Smith said. He said he wished he never dragged his son into that movie. So, but anyway, this one was it was, like I said, it was kind of a flop for me this time. What do you think, Scott?
See, I go with Mona when she says it's nostalgia. I watched the original. I watched it the first time on HBO. I was in high school. I turned it on a Saturday night. I was doing homework. It was okay. Watched it several years later. Because I was sick, I didn't get a chance to watch this one. I love it. It's one of those movies that's so bad, it's good. To see some great actors like Brian Blessed doing the flying monkey Viking thing. Yes, and the laughing, and then with the scene when they're coming in at the end with the rods that are shooting lasers. Timothy Dalton, James Bond in those roles. It's a classic. It's just bad, but it's good. And like you guys said, the soundtrack is phenomenal. The soundtrack makes it.
Yeah, the soundtrack does. I mean,
I will probably rewatch it this weekend since I didn't get a chance for this show, but it's part of the 1980s.
Yeah.
My advice, Scott, is don't rewatch it.
Yeah.
Hold on to those good feelings. Trust me.
I think if I didn't have to wait in line for an hour or so, of course that was part of it though. It's like going to a concert back then,
Yeah, it was an event.
Those of you that are like, in your 50s and stuff, in early 40s, you can relate to that. It was an experience. It was fun going with your friends, and you're screwing off in line, just having a good time being stupid kids. But this one was disappointing. I was looking forward to it when it came out because I loved all that crap. I'm a big nerd, but I was really disappointed and bored. I was bored with it. And Sam Jones, he was not a very good actor.
No, but
I mean,
see, I go ahead. I agree with the nostalgia because right across the street from my house was the back of a one movie theater.
Oh, cool.
And they played more like adult movies Friday, Saturday night, and they had a creature double feature matinees on Saturday. And my friends and I, we'd all gather at my house, and 5 minutes before the movie began, we'd run through the alley and get in. And it was just fun. You'd sit there, you'd watch one movie. You couldn't sit under the balcony because you didn't know what was going to come off the balcony. And then in the middle, they'd have the previews with the giant also. And every kid in the theater went also with it. But yeah, that's the nostalgia of it. But like, I didn't see this one, but it says the 1980s to me.
Definitely.
That could be good. That could be bad.
Well, I'm going to go off on something right here. Used to be an event. Used to go. It was a big deal. You would dress up a little bit. I remember my folks coming back from seeing Aliens, and they got a movie. What you call it? One of those booklets. I forgot what they used to call them. But it had a lot of info in the movie. It had
program.
A program. Thank you.
Yeah.
So a lot of those movies, the ones that were they would have those programs, and I'm sure they're worth some money now. Some of those programs. I had one for Alien. I had one for Aliens. I think I had one for Jaws. So it was a big deal. It was an event, and that's what I was looking forward to in this one, and it just sucked. And it's nostalgia for us. I think. I think it's really nostalgia for us all.
It is.
Have
you guys seen the movie Ted 2?
No.
Yeah, a long time ago, but I do know he's in that. He's the preacher.
Yes. So Sam Jones is in the movie. Ted is a bear. He's a little stuffed bear, and Mark Wahlberg, it's his bear from when they were a kid. And he's filthy. He's dirty. Like, he talks dirty. It's a funny movie. But one of their favorite movies was Flash Gordon. So they're at a party getting stoned, this little bear and Mark Wahlberg, and they go out and they find Sam Jones and bring him back to the party, and they're partying with Flash Gordon. It was funny. It was way better than the Flash Gordon movie this time.
Well, there's a documentary about his career, about all that that happened to him, because he really didn't go anywhere. He had issues and stuff, and he really didn't go anywhere after that. He made some B movies, and I think he might do some stuff now like Ted and stuff like that. But I'm not saying don't watch this movie, because I think it's indicative of his time. It's glossy. It's Studio 54, the end of it. It's just, I'm going too deep into this, but it's a fun. It's a fun experience of the 80s. I didn't like it. Looking back at it now, I enjoyed it a little bit because it just was the nostalgia and being a teenager. And the 80s were fun to live through when you were a teenager.
In a word, this movie is gaudy.
But I'll bet you if Sam Jones showed up at a convention, he would be one of the biggest draws.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, this movie is very loved. It's
It
fantastic. And people, they come in and, they want to talk to Sam Jones, and even Timothy Dalton. He still goes to the conventions for that movie.
Yeah,
really?
He does. It's crazy.
I loved him in Hot Fuzz. Loved him. He was great.
Well,
yeah, it does have
this movie. I mean, I loved it as a child. It's remained in my mind all these years, and I mean, I thought that. I see the Queen is here.
The Dong Lady.
Hey.
Hello.
Yes, 80s were awesome, Jennifer. But
yeah,
it's I think you should see this movie. And I guess it sounds contradictory to what I'm saying about, but I think it should be seen. And you should enjoy it. Not Flash Gordon Blaine. Nope, son. Avert your virgin eyes from that. But yeah, I didn't like the movie, but it's nostalgia, I guess, and I love nostalgia.
So what do you give it?
We'll go with Hadley.
I'm gonna give it a 4 because it does check a lot of boxes for me for a bad science fiction movie. It had the evil scientist doctor guy who was amazing in his role. I mean, out of everybody, the overacting that he did was perfect. No one agrees.
No.
Hey, did he?
But like I said, I love the costumes. The sets were amazing, and there's a lot of influence that you see in things like Star Wars. And I mean, again, it did kind of suck, and it didn't live up to my expectations that I had, since childhood. Right. But there's a lot of good to it too.
Now, didn't the guy that played the scientist wasn't he the Fiddler on the Roof?
Yes.
His
name is really?
Oh. Yeah, it's Topol. That's he's got a one name.
Yeah, and he's a good actor.
Yeah, and he was in Never Say Never Again, I think, which is James Bond movie. He's in
who directed this thing? Was it a Bond director at all?
I don't know, but there were a lot of people in both.
These people want dongs tonight. Everybody's whipping out their dongs.
I know they like. What is it with these perverts? Jennifer, I would give it. Yeah, I'm gonna say I'll go back. I'm gonna readjust my score and go to 3 dongs.
Okay. So. Scott,
I'd give it 3.5. The nostalgia value, and just the fact it's a good bad movie. You know, it's like Sharknado. It's so bad it's good.
Well, I completely disagree with the Sharknado comment. I'm going to go with everything else Scott said is right on the money. I'm going to give it a 3.5 as well, just because of the nostalgia and the fact that, you know, I saw it with my dad and my friends. It was great. So, yeah, I'll give it a 3.5. If I had not watched it again, if I had not watched it recently, I would have given this movie a 5.
Same.
What's being whipped out?
5 dongs.
I'm gonna give it a 3 donger for nostalgia. I wish I hadn't watched it again, like Hadley said, because it just made it that much more worse for wear.
But what other movie can you hear it and you immediately go flash?
Yeah.
Sure.
And
it's cool because I can talk to one of my buddies, hey, remember when we stood in line for Flash Gordon? Oh yeah, that movie sucked. I mean, yeah. So,
and that theme song is going to be in our heads all night now.
Yeah, that's.
I want the T-shirt. I mean, that branding was fabulous.
Oh yeah, and you can get
Chef's kiss for the branding. Whoever did that.
Yeah, and you can get the T-shirt online.
You'd have to ask Tina about that.
3.5 dogs. There's dogs everywhere tonight. It's 3.5 out of 10,000.
Tina really did not like the movies this week, did she?
And we just did the 2 best ones. So.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go. We'll save Scott's because Scott loves to act out his shows. So I'll go with The Man with the Screaming Brain. This is 2005. It's a sci-fi production written by Bruce Campbell. So you can't miss, right? Well, yeah, this movie, I think this movie made me dumber after I watched it.
Considering the other movies we watched, we should all be concerned.
Bruce Campbell is an ugly American businessman that goes over to Bulgaria, and he's got a wife. He's in a loveless marriage. Well, he kind of loves his wife, but yeah, I know you love this movie, but I love it. But he's in a loveless marriage. His wife, it doesn't really like him as much as he likes her, but he makes eyes at all these women there. So it's really weird. He gets mixed up with this Russian cab driver who takes him to buy a ring, and it belongs to the cab driver's ex-girlfriend who's running around killing guys because she's crazy. And so she ends up killing Bruce Campbell and ends up killing the cab driver, her ex-boyfriend. Stacy Keach is a crazy mad scientist that can take brains and put them in a body and mix them together. So you have 2 brains, 2 thought processes in one body. So he does that with Bruce Campbell and brings him back to life, puts the cab driver's brain in with him. So Bruce Campbell has this ugly ass scar in the front of his. It's horrible. Anyway, this movie is just insane. It is really insane. It's actually, if you're drinking, it's a fun, or if you're watching it with your teenage son, it's a fun movie to watch. But it is has Ted Raimi plays a wartime character that is just, I don't know. I think because he must owe Bruce something, This was going to be filmed in LA, but it was cheaper, believe it or not, to film it in Bulgaria.
Yeah. So
Bruce Campbell had to rewrite the script because the cab driver and the characters are all going to be Latinos, and there's also Bruce Campbell's wife gets killed by the crazy girlfriend, and her brain gets put into this robot that goes around killing and hurting people, and it's just a silly mess. When I watched it with my son, we had a lot of fun. Then I watched it again, and it was just it was horrible. It's a horrible movie. It took Bruce Campbell, and this is a project. Sci-Fi made a deal with him, and I think he made Android Apocalypse or something like that. He got to make 2 movies because he was pretty big at that time.
Yeah,
in the sci-fi circles, and I think he made Android Apocalypse, and this one were part of the deal. Sci-Fi made him, and this took 19 years for him to make this movie. Not with Sci-Fi, but he had it in the works. He was going to actually have a film school make it, which actually looks like a film school made it.
Kinda.
Yeah, and it's got some laughs in it. You know, he plays over the top American. There's a part where he's on this moped and it crashes, and the moped, it just hits a car, falls over, and explodes dramatically, like, you know, a car going over a cliff. But it's just I don't know. I don't want to hurt my son's feelings because he loves this movie. And the nostalgia with him and I watching it, I guess, is big. But yeah, so there it is, The Man with the Screaming Brain. Anybody?
I picked a hell of a week to quit drinking. Oh, this movie is just so bad. So I saw I had never heard of this movie, and I saw the poster for it, and I was like, I didn't have my glasses, so I'm like, is that fucking Bruce Campbell? It's like, wait, what?
Me too.
And then first scene is Bruce Campbell, and I can't remember his wife's name. I don't know who she is, but I have definitely seen her before. Stacy Keach is in this movie too. So
yeah,
right. So it's like 3 minutes in, and I'm looking at the cinematography, and I'm like, this movie is going to suck. And I was not wrong. No dongs. No, you got it, Tina. We're like 10 minutes in, and I'm listening to this fake Russian guy speak Russian, and I'm like, what the hell is? And then Ted Raimi's got the robot thing going, and I'm like, okay, this just lost another star. What the hell is this thing? And then it just keeps going, and like Alan said, this murderous gypsy woman is just killing people. Why, we don't know. We have no idea why. And then it just goes down this shit shame spiral, and it just gets worse and worse. And the woman she goes after the gypsy girl that's killing everybody because she killed her husband, who she didn't love in the first place, and she gets killed. And then they put her brain in this goddamn stupid ass robot. It was just so bad. So that's what I got. Honestly, the cinematography, you go to Bulgaria, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
The cinematography was just, it was all like shit city, it was just crap. And they made it look like Bulgaria was this third world country, which it was, but not so much. Well, I guess it was in the 80s, but it's significantly better now, I guess. But back then, I guess it was pretty bad, but they made it look just awful, like Russian bloc terrible. And it was at a time when capitalism had come in there. So it was, I don't know. I didn't like it. I'll never watch it again. I'm not going to recommend it. In fact, I will recommend you don't watch it because it was that bad. Scott, what you got, buddy?
The only 2 things about that movie I really liked were Stacy Keach and Ted Raimi.
Mm-hmm.
They were funny. It's got to be the worst Bruce Campbell movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It sucked on every level, but when I'd seen this when it first came out, and I didn't remember it until like halfway through the movie. You know what it reminded me of? The Steve Martin movie, The Man with Two Brains.
That was better.
A little bit, yeah.
If you look at it, it's the whole thing about it, like at the end of the movie, where the brain of the person he loves is in the body of somebody different. The Man with Two Brains was great, but this one was just horrible. I think this was the worst of the picks.
So about that,
Hey,
we have one more movie to do.
Yeah.
Alan, did you freeze again?
Hadley.
Hadley, you with us?
I did not see this movie, so I can't say. When I heard how bad it was, I just I'm not even gonna try. Sorry, Alan.
But
But you're the one that said it was so bad.
Well, when I watched it
I took a
years
nap.
ago, it was nice because I watched it with my son and we were having a good time with it. And then I watched it again and it was like, oh, this is really bad. It was really bad, and they had to know it was bad. Because the way it's written is just, I don't know. There's nothing really hilarious about it.
See, I wonder if when they rewrote it because they were going to Bulgaria, if they screwed up the whole script.
Oh, could have. Could have.
Maybe.
But Bruce Campbell has my childhood. Sorry, Blaine.
My childhood.
But he's got such a big following. It just, I don't know. So, okay.
Everybody makes bad movies.
Oh, yeah.
Steven Spielberg made 1941. So Bruce Campbell can make the Man with the Screaming Brain. My brain was screaming after watching this movie, believe me.
Well, okay. How many dongs did we get?
I'm giving this one dong, and that's only because I enjoyed watching Ted Raimi and Stacy Keach.
I'm going to give it one dong because I want to give less dongs to Scott's movie. And I don't want to sound like an asshole.
I'm going to give this one 2 dongs. One for nostalgia with my son. So, you will all have those movies we watched with a loved one, that, it makes it, So when Happy gives it 0 dongs.
I hear somebody's puppy.
It's Boudreaux. Boo Bradley's in the house, guys.
I do.
Okay, Scott.
All right. I picked a classically horribly bad science fiction movie, Voyage to the Planet of Prehistoric Women. And I'll explain why I picked this one in a minute.
No, we got it.
No, there's another reason. Takes place in 1968. This was produced by Roger Corman. That's all I really have to say. Roger Corman made it, but it made in 1968. It takes place far, far, far in the future, in the year 2000. And Earth has got a giant space station off the moon, and they decide that they're going to explore Venus. So they send this rocket ship to Venus. The first one explodes. So they send a second one. Second one crashes on the planet. So they think, okay, 2 ships gone. Let's send a third ship. So the first ship that crashed has 2 people. Howard Sherman, Captain Alfred Kearns, and Robot John. Robot John was the best character in this whole movie. I liked him. He's the main reason I love it.
He had the best range of acting.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
It's the only one I could understand.
And then the second ship lands, and the second ship is searching for them. So they find this prehistoric planet, and it's got a brontosaurus. It's got this really weird-looking man-eating plant that's shy of cameras. It's got a pterodactyl that really is terrible. And 30 minutes into the movie, you see the prehistoric women. A group of busty blondes. Because Corman thought Venus, goddess of love. Love is a blonde. So.
Telepathic.
So they wake up because their god, the pterodactyl, was killed by the invaders. So the rest of the movie goes around. The three astronauts eventually find the first 2. They're crossing a lava flow because a volcano explodes. Because, of course, naturally, a volcano explodes. That's the best thing to happen. Excuse me, phlegm. So as the robot's carrying them across, the robot gets self-preservation and tries to throw them into the lava. They disconnect the robot. The The other three save them. They go back to the ship. They find a deep, dark secret because there's a rock they break open and there's a beautiful woman in it. And then they take off. The planet starts falling apart. The prehistoric women are mad because Pterodactyl, their god, didn't save them. But then they find the robot and make the robot their god. The end. I picked this movie because, and I'm putting it here in the link, there is a really good movie, Planeta Burr, Soviet-made film, 1962, written by a Soviet sci-fi writer, directed by another guy. It's good. Watch it. You'll see it's very well written, very well filmed. It's a really good movie for 1962 Soviet. Roger Corman got this. 1968. Oh, no. 65.
That dick.
1965. He redoes it. The space station scenes are removed and replaced with Basil Rathbone. The scenes with the Soviet cosmonaut, female cosmonaut, flying around Venus waiting to retrieve them is done by Faith Demure, who was in It Came from Outer Space. Figured, this, Basil Rathbone, Faith Demure, this will bring the audience in. It didn't. So in 1968, he decided, what does every good B movie need? Boobs! So he took out Basil Rathbone, he took out Faith Demure, and he added all these scenes with the women. The head is Mamie Van Doren, who at the time was a big sex symbol. But they didn't give them any speaking lines. They thought, the women's actions will be understood by the audience. It's a bunch of women walking around rocks. It made no friggin' sense. So after the movie was made, they came back and they had women dub over the lines. That's why it's all like telepathic. So I like it because it's fun to see how a really good science fiction movie can be destroyed by a guy who's only looking to make some profit on the TV screen. So what did you guys think? I'm going to save Rich for last because I know he hates this one.
Hadley, you want to go?
I had it on, and I'm sorry, Scott. I just didn't listen to it, but I saw it. It looked bad, but I'm not into the 50s and 60s sci-fi movies like y'all are. That's just not my thing. So I'm sorry. I suck.
If anybody watched it, seriously, if you want to see what it was originally like, just check out the link. It's in Russian with English subtitles.
I wondered why when that rocket ship was taken off, it had that Russian star on the fin. I thought that's weird. I watched this, and if I was a 10-year-old kid back at that time, I would have loved it. The special effects for that time, they actually weren't bad. You know, I mean, they remind me of the Italian space movies of that era. Yeah. I mean, they're little, spaceships on wires and all that. But they were kind of cool, and they had 20 people trying to help refuel the spaceship, which they did. They just stood there looking at it as it landed. For that time, that was kind of a good scene. I mean, really, because it was kind of neat. The little rubber dinosaurs attacking the guys when they got on the planet, the three guys and John. I thought that was kind of cool. That was kind of fun. John the robot, he moved around cool. As a kid, that would have been a cool robot to have.
Yes.
But it was boring as fuck.
Really?
It was boring. I just found it boring, Scott. And I liked their little Land Rover underwater car, all that stuff. That was cool, because they really went out on special effects at that time.
And it was the Soviet Union. It wasn't like they had big budgets.
Right. And in the setting, the planet, everything, but it was just boring. It just I was bored with it. I was bored.
Sorry.
That's okay. I still love you, but I was bored with it. So
Hadley?
I will give him a 1.
Okay. Oh, you already went. That's right.
Yeah.
Rich.
I don't like this movie. The first 8 minutes, 9 minutes of the movie is a commercial for space. Like, no joke. It's like, these rockets are built to, and I'm like, is this part of the movie? And honestly, I still don't know if it was. So we start off with this rocket launching into space, and it's a 1960s toy rocket on a string. That was the best part of the whole movie. It just plateaued right there and just took a nosedive, and it hit the ground at a screaming 100,000 miles per hour.
You didn't like the Land Rover car thing?
No, it was absurd. But what I did see was that there must have been some kind of budget for this movie to make that thing, because they had at least one of them. They had John the Robot, so they must have spent some money on this. The way it was filmed and how it looked, and the actors and some of the equipment, it just looked like 10-year-old kids did it. It looked like they got the best thing about their Christmas present was the box, and they built it into a fucking spaceship. So it was, I couldn't get into it. I didn't like it. There was the music. It was supposed to be this friggin' tense music, and I just, it was awful. What they needed was some dongs, because it was just terrible. And then all of a sudden, there's these like 7 or 8 just hot, naked, semi-naked women sunning themselves on this jetty, and they have shell bikinis.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm a red-blooded American kid born in the 60s. I would love this kind of thing. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, it sucks. There was just no redeeming quality. I'm sorry. I didn't like it.
But it's a bad science fiction.
So you won this round for sure. So Allen's movie was like an Oscar-winning performance compared to this thing. It was just, I did not like it. I didn't like any part of it. And it was the first 5 minutes that killed me. I was like, actually, it was 8 minutes because I timed it. I was like, no, this can't still be going. And it was a spaceship freaking rocket commercial. Is what it was.
And that was all added by Roger Corman.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Yeah.
If you want to, just try the original version and see if you like it.
No.
I will. I'll give that a watch.
Yeah,
I will. But I'll never watch this one again. And I'm not recommending you guys don't watch this. I'm kind of demanding you don't watch it. You will be worse people afterwards for watching this, because you're gonna want to hurt us, and I don't want that to happen.
No, they're gonna want to hurt me.
So I would give this. I'm gonna give this a 0.25 dongs.
I'm
not gonna say anything, Jennifer. You're really pushing it with us.
How about a Franks and Beans? I'll give it a Franks and Beans.
This is where Cecil said we should give inches.
This one would be in millimeters. So, Alan, what would you give it?
Franks and Beans.
Franks and
Something
Beans.
About Mary.
Not even one dog.
That scene in Something About Mary where he gets it caught in the zipper.
Yeah.
Oh.
No beans.
And Hadley.
I'll just give it a 1.
That's what I'm giving it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was boring.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was, gosh.
I didn't find it boring. I just found it horrible. I wish they made a toy of John the Robot.
Yeah, This one should have been burned up.
On re-entry.
Yes.
Yeah, I think she has it right. One bean.
Hey, but within the parameters of bad sci-fi movies, Scott, you nailed it.
Thank
Oh
you.
yeah,
Yeah,
you,
this
you
was the
won
winner.
this round for sure.
And there was so many to choose from, but I thought this one with the blondes walking around not talking, that was
so dumb.
yeah.
It saved them from acting.
Yeah. I don't
I
even know if those girls did the voiceovers later.
I don't know. Well, I have no idea. Maybe they didn't even speak English. I don't know.
That's true.
Well,
Right, Mona?
I will say that we have got the greatest people in our chat room.
Yes.
we do.
Yes.
Hey, David.
Did you see what David said? Hopefully, when our civilizations die, this is not what they find after the fact.
This will be the one movie.
Right, I know.
Yeah.
The friggin' aliens are gonna be looking at them and go, "What the
They'll
hell?"
find
did
this
we
one in the
stumble
Russian
on?"
version. Yeah, we've got the greatest chat room, y'all.
We do.
I just love them.
And we love
Thank you, Tony.
We love y'all. A
Yeah.
ding. What's a dinghy? Is that when it's really cold outside? It's a
Well, we're talking about doing this thing in New Orleans in 2024 in March. So if y'all are interested, be sure to subscribe to our Weird Realities Facebook group, and we will see if we can get enough people to maybe do a room block or something at one of the hotels. So y'all just be sure and let us know. We want to make sure that we have plenty of time to plan it if we can get enough people to come. But it will be the Weird Crew in the house, and we will see what we can work out.
Definitely. Sounds like a good time.
I mean,
I know.
Finally get to eat a beignet from New Orleans.
Cafe Du Monde.
Yes. Tina's been wanting to get that. But yeah, Tony.
Well, we're gonna have a good time. So let's get the chat room there. Can you imagine if we get the chat room in the house?
Oh yeah.
The only time I was in New Orleans,
a lot of boobs. I'm seeing beads given. Alan's supposed to show his.
My beads.
Might get Scott and Rich to show theirs.
Hey, I'll show anything for beads.
David, I'm planning for it to be in March. Probably, maybe if people need spring break, we'll see about doing it spring break. But Fat Tuesday is going to be, I think, the February 13th. So it'll definitely be off season for the New Orleans people.
Gonna say Fat Tuesday. That's definitely me.
Yeah, we can't do that.
But we can make a party with all of us. So.
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
So I'm going to start saving up my Coke bottles right now.
And that's why we're giving everybody plenty of time so we can see if we can get enough people to go that we can get some fun stuff planned. I've actually am talking with a ghost tour person, and depending on how many people we have, they do shifts of like 10 people at a time. So we might could get some fun stuff going.
Whip out whatever you want, Jennifer.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ashel. Last year of that's the last year. Oh, good. That works out perfect, man.
Yeah. Can you get me one?
Yes, Mona, that would be awesome. Yeah, it'd be great to get together. And also while we're talking about getting together, hey, if you could all hit the like buttons, please, if you're on YouTube, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. That way, it'd really help us out a lot. In fact, if you do that, it every time you hit subscribe, like, it feeds starving kids in Africa. So you're doing a good thing.
Fact.
Starving kids, or it sends outdated soccer world championship T-shirts to kids every time you do that.
Every time you hit subscribe on this program, some geek gets a bad movie they can watch.
Also, just in time for Christmas, if you're interested in getting any Weird Reality swag, let me know. I'll get the shop set up if we get enough people.
Oh, that'd be awesome. The weird post.
Are you bringing Tina to New Orleans with you?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to be a dead man. She's going to kill me. I'll have to pick some good movies to get on her good side.
Oh, you're on her good side. She's
Yeah, but her thumb from the pause button is going to be like this. She's going to have a super thumb.
We'll have a good time.
It'll be fun.
Definitely. So is there anything else anybody wants to throw out there? You want to
No, next week's our turkey week, isn't it?
Yes.
We're doing it Wednesday night,
Can you
though,
believe
right?
it? Yeah, we're doing it Wednesday. Y'all, it's gonna be fun. You remember last year we did, what was it? Thanksgiving? Was that your movie?
That was
Yeah.
mine.
So
I can't remember mine.
hold on.
Me neither. The only one that anyone remembers is Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oh, mine was Miami Connection.
Oh.
Uncultured white chemistry.
You know, you guys always pick on me for the movies I pick, but a year later, my movies are the ones you remember.
Exactly, Scott.
That is true, Scott. So that you're memorable that way. So kudos. Kudos to you. So next Wednesday will be our annual. This will be our second annual.
No.
Yeah, next week we're taking Thursday night off, but we'll be here Wednesday night. Wednesday night, same time, same bat channel. We'll be doing our second annual turkey show.
Do you remember what the movies are we're watching?
Mine is Fanatic.
I got Velocipaster.
You have Velocipaster. Rich?
I have no idea what the hell I picked. I need Hadley for that. She feeds me that movie. She feeds me the movies on like Friday afternoon. I'm like, what the hell?
I've been wondering why y'all were ignoring me. I was on pause or mute. I'm going, everyone's just talking over me, damn it. I've got the list.
Read the
Sorry.
She's been drinking again.
Okay.
That giggle, though.
Thank you, Mama.
Rich picked Conan, and I was saying, I don't know why he picked Conan. What's the turkey about it? But yeah, you picked Conan.
It was voted worst movie of the year when it came out.
The Schwarzenegger version?
Yeah.
Well,
and I picked Swiss Army Man.
Oh, that's right.
I have not seen that.
Neither have I.
I'm excited for y'all to watch it.
My daughter, I don't know if she told me she liked that movie or didn't like it.
It's a WTF movie. Those are my kind of. That's my kind of turkey. Is a what the?
So Swiss Army Man, Conan, Scott. Yours is
Velocipaster.
And mine is
pasta that when he is in danger turns into a velociraptor.
I've actually seen it.
Isn't it bad?
Yeah.
The fight scene at the end.
Better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Maybe I should pick a different movie. Go with something ridiculous.
Well, you have time.
Yes.
You have time.
Yeah,
I'll figure that out. I'll figure it out.
Landa, can you imagine if none of them have seen it? Their reaction to Swiss Army Man.
I've never seen it.
I haven't seen it. I have not seen it.
So I'm so looking forward to next Wednesday.
And we have fun with these though. And that way, hey, we're not heartless. You just have time with your family on Thursday. Have time on Wednesday. And Thursday you can have a blast with your families, and then we'll see you the week after.
And if you miss us Thursday night, you can just replay the podcast.
That's right. We're going to try to do this as long as we're on, until we have our, 25th annual.
I told you, Tina's going to kill me if she sees me in New Orleans.
Tina might kill me. After next week, she might kill me.
Yeah.
Ashel has the pillow. Yes, it does, Mike.
Yeah.
Really? Oh.
Doesn't Conan have Darth Vader? Yeah, it's James Earl Jones.
Yep.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's got Mako in it.
Oh, that's right. Mako.
Sandal Bergman.
That's right.
Yeah.
I want to get Jennifer and Tina in a room and watch them just have the best time. They're going to rip y'all apart if we're ever in person and do a podcast.
Yeah. Hey, Rich, did you know in Conan when he has the sex scene, he told Maria Shriver that they used a body double for him in that. My wife would be on the set with, well, no, I probably wouldn't even be doing that movie. It was up to. Yeah, it's a true story.
Damn.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me with Schwarzenegger, but hey.
Yeah. Right. So, is there anything?
Yeah.
We got a little bit of time. You guys don't have to rush off.
No, I kind of do actually.
Okay. So, what do you have on the line, Rich?
Well, same as before. I kind of let my my vampire tank story slip. I'm gonna start writing it again soon, but I had to cut out a bunch, and I have a story going for. It's an anthology series. It was 19 Gates, 25 Gates of Hell, and then there's going to be another one. I've got a story going for that, and I've also got a story going for. It's From the Depths, I believe, and it is a Skywatcher Press. It's that should be coming out probably end of the year or middle, but
Ash would know that.
Damn. And then I'm still writing. I'm writing the 5th in the Theories series. So I got a lot going on.
Nice.
What about you?
I'm waiting for Hunt the Night to be released.
Saw that.
I'm so excited about that, Alan. It looks fantastic.
I'm hoping. I usually Tina will read my stories and tell me what I'm doing wrong in them, and she's really good. She's really good at shaping my story. Actually, she really is. I'm not being a dick. But she didn't. So I'm kind of worried.
She had the grandbaby take care of.
Yeah, well, this is before that, before it went out. But she just, one reason or another, she didn't get that pre-read it, So I was surprised when they actually put that on Facebook the other day because they didn't tell me. So I was just surprised. Oh. So I hope everybody enjoys it when it comes out. I really do, and I'll get your feedback and let me know what you think. But I'm working on other stories right now, so nothing really focused. Guy?
Haven't written much on Nurse Alyssa 9. I've been concentrating on a special project I want to get done by Christmas. Nurse Alyssa 9 should be done by the end of January. And I have 2 anthologies coming out. One of them should be coming out this month or early December. The next one should be coming out in January. And I'll just post about those when I got the release dates.
Cool. Good.
Awesome.
Good. Awesome. Hadley?
I am working on the edits for my romance, my paranormal romance. What did I call it? Sorry. It's called Dawnbreaker, The House of Blood and Sun, and it is a paranormal romance featuring an elven she and a vampire. So I'm working on the edits. Hopefully it will be out because it's going really slow, but I'm hoping for maybe around winter solstice.
Cool.
Why is it going slow? What's going on?
I don't know. Yeah, I've been distracted a lot lately. So.
Did you say Dawnbreaker?
Dawnbreaker.
Yeah, Dawnbreaker. That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's what also has me a little bit,
What?
I'm so red right now. It's not even funny. On that note, guys.
Turning red.
On that note, yeah.
All right.
I do read it to Jennifer. She actually helps me with some of the scenes in it. So.
Well, good.
Sex scenes?
Outstanding.
Yeah.
I will never tell.
Ah.
That's probably what the Dawnbreaker part comes in.
Yeah, that's the Dawnbreaker. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for this week. We will see y'all next week for Thanksgiving. Our turkeys on Wednesday. And until Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Wednesday next week. I'll be sending stuff out. And again, if you're not a member of our Facebook page, definitely join it, and we'll talk to y'all soon.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so
everyone.
much for coming, all of you.